Hey everyone, welcome to the final of the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Tournament, SGL 2024! Let's go! Alright, cool, that's it. Let's go home.
That's it. Yeah, we have Mario versus Flea here today. We've watched each of them play a match today, plus several matches over the last few days.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic tournament. Group phase into a single elimination bracket, and we've been grinding this out for the last 4 days, and we are here in the final. And hopefully there's little scumming of items today.
Yeah. We are off. So Flea undefeated so far in this tournament.
It's the hover boots!
Everyone's been having a good time. Ooh, Hyrule Castle, bottom of the well, Market, and Lost Woods.
That's a massive variety. So Lost Woods, Market, very early sphere places.
Yep.
And Mario.
Flea must be going river here.
Yeah, Flea went river in his last match.
Yep.
Fox 2 is a Goron tunic.
Oh, okay. We're not getting that.
We're not getting that one. Yeah, he went there in the previous match. And picked up, I think it was a strength in a bottle that was in river or something like that. So maybe thinking it was a good play, doing it again.
Yep. Yeah, you never quite know. Oh, big chest here though. All right, fire arrows. Nice.
Not a very good early item because we don't have a bow to use that.
We don't have a bow, we don't have magic, but you know what it is? An item. All right, perfect. Oh. No!
So we're trying to take pictures of when people show their medallions, so we have them, and we completely missed that. So we apologize.
It's kind of interesting the tricks that you have to get used to in these live, in-person, tournaments, and so sometimes it's just as simple as I'm taking a picture on my phone.
Okay, so yeah, bottom of the well, very kind of big location where lots of checks are, especially if you pick up storms early on.
Yep.
Lost Woods, Market, early sphere, and then was it Hyrule Castle?
Hyrule Castle Fairy,
the last one was.
You kind of hate to see those one-off checks be hinted foolish since they all have a sometimes hint that they could have instead, but you live with it.
We were saying before that Hyrule Castle check could be hinted in 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Foolish, single, and dual with OGC.
Yeah, exactly. Very high odds.
All right, big chest.
Oh, all right. Ooh, and... You know, $50.
We'll take money.
Oh, Kokiri Sword. All right, Central Pillar is a small key.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Virgil saying Forest, Shadow, Water required.
Oh.
Unsure if Deku is needed yet.
Yeah.
More hints coming up.
I didn't pay attention to what that actual light med dungeon was.
Whoa,
ooh,
the lights are coming down. Oh.
Amazing.
I thought I was going blind for a moment.
Cozy up, gang. Grab your favorite Ooter nerd. Settle in.
We've got water, what was it, water river before, and now we've got the dual hint for the back of water as well.
Yeah.
So lots of water sometimes hints.
Oh, OGC hinted as a sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing, you like to see that.
Yeah, that would have to be the single because Hyrule Castle is foolish.
Yep.
The lights are back. All right, I can see it again. I like the mood light on though.
Ooh.
Okay.
A nice early storms for our foolish bottom of the well.
Foolish bottom of the well, vanilla storms.
So great, so great.
Yeah, so we're just seeing kind of like, Flea did a bit of a divergence, but didn't, not a lot of information obtained.
Yeah, not a lot of information and not a lot of, good stuff. And Shadow Trial 2 is a small key. All right. Better arrows.
more elemental
More elemental arrows.
Still another item we can use.
Historically speaking, this means Go Mode is magic.
That would be sad, not being able to use FW to warp out everywhere would be miserable. Time for some Sculptular hints. See what's on 20 and 30 today.
Nothing?
Dude.
Nothing.
Dead. So No double defense today.
I will never snub double defense, but for 30 skulls, definitely would.
That's a high price.
That's not happening. I'll just open every heart chest along the way.
I mean, just end up with 11 hearts. Like, it's fine.
Exactly.
Right, Mario's kind of backwards CAC route has just meant that he's had the money to go and pick up that shield here, right now.
Yep. And I wonder, I mean, without a whole lot to use here, where would you go next? Obviously, Market, Lost Woods.
Yeah.
That's tough when, okay. Well, we're jumping down. Oh, we need $5. $5
from up.
No, the grotto doesn't work.
You can go in and out. Oh, it didn't pick up that one.
No, he did, but
did he go in and out of the building? Yeah.
Yeah, he'd already gone in to buy the shield. Nice.
Yeah, boat opens up this. That could make you go up the mountain and go and do adult SFM.
Yeah, the shortcuts. You can stop the Link the Goron and go at least peak crater stuff.
The bit of the sad thing would be that you can't get the Death Mountain crater song because you can't cross the gap.
It's fine. This is just going to be like hook shot right here. Easy.
But then you could Mido's, big early location. But yeah, kind of Lost Woods. Longland Ranch gets you a song as well. Storms also gets you a DMT check. So climbing would kind of work here in this situation. Okay.
Mario not opting to do that though. Looks like going child makes sense, especially when you know a lot of these the Market, Hyrule Castle. Knowing that you don't have to think about those the whole scene is nice. Yeah,
especially Market can has quite a few checks that have lots of different criteria.
Yeah, the time of day, the money routing, the item requirements. Not having to think about that is nice. So
Menace, we'll try and summarize everything for you. So of course, Ocarina of Time has a bunch of different dungeons that we can complete. The dungeons that we do need to complete to actually beat the game are the dungeons that are on the 3 stones and the dungeons that are allocated to the Spirit and Shadow Medallion. Currently, we're not 100% sure what they are because we haven't really checked. Flea did have a quick look, but too quick for our eyes to see, and Mario has no idea whatsoever. And then, of course, we're going to need to beat those dungeons, so we need all the items to do those dungeons. Ocarina of Time Randomizer has quite a set opening route where we do Adult Kakariko Village, then going into a child segment, because you want to try and get the early songs as quickly as possible, and a lot of these checks don't require any item requirements.
Yeah, it's interesting. Mario opted not to check our child spawn there. It is random, and so typically you would see them save quit and then play a warp song if that was the next plan anyway. Yeah,
generally Mario has been checking his medallions when he's save quitting from the back of Lon Lon Ranch. So yeah, there's a few locations where we can get songs early on, and those songs are really powerful because they can warp you all over the place, or they can unlock a vast amount of checks for us to do.
Yeah, and one of the places that you traditionally would see runners go if they get storms early is bottom of the well, but it's foolish, which is really interesting.
Yeah. It's helpful we don't have Zelda's Lullaby, so that locks a few of the checks in bottom of the well, which could be a bit awkward going into the well without Zelda's Lullaby.
Yep.
Yeah, we have the Ocarina, good kind of point. We start with a couple of songs, one of them being Prelude, and we also start with the song that Zelda would give you, and that's Randomizer, and today that was Nocturne.
Yep. Which is nice if we do have that required shadow, which I firmly believe is accurate. One less thing that's going to eat up those path hints that we haven't seen any of yet, and one less thing that you have to hunt down and worry about extra dungeon completion for. Though, honestly, I'm seeing Deku as our forest medallion. I think you do that.
Yeah, so the green medallion, not a dungeon we definitely need to do to open and beat Ganon, but Deku has a lot of quick checks in there, and defeating the green medallion also gets you a song, which songs are great in this game. You want to try and get the songs as quickly as possible.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, game called Ocarina of Time. That ocarina is important.
Yeah. Well, you get an ocarina in Majora's Mask, and you get more instruments in Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
But you also get a load of masks.
Vanilla Epona again.
Another vanilla song. Okay, yeah. Epona song, that allows us to cool the horse, which is good overworld movement, but also gets us to the Gerudo Deserts. That's a big area opened up already in the seed.
Yep.
Okay, so this is where Mario would normally be checking his stones and medallions, so he's going to find out that Deku Tree is the forest medallion.
Yep.
I'd say after this.
Oh, blue shirt.
There we go.
All right. Yep. So forest, shadow, water are those stones, and then DC.
Okay.
That's quick. We're not getting a hint for that.
Yeah. So.
But our bomb bag might be hinted somewhere. We'll see.
Yeah, we're going into. Like, Shadow is quite a high item required dungeon, so we're going to need Din's Fire, we're going to need Magic, we have Nocturne, we need the Hover Boots, which is our favorite item in this room.
Yeah, a hook shot, which Forest also inherently requires. We might need a Strength, we might need a Bow, but those are things you'll still see for Forest, and most likely Fire too. So nice that there's that kind of overlap between those three.
Yeah, we're going to need strengths, we're going to need a bow, we're going to need a hook shot, we're going to need explosives. And Spirit being our light medallion is kind of icky, so one of the things that we have in these settings is that one of our dungeons is completely empty. And that is whatever dungeon is allocated to the light medallion, and that is the Spirit Temple, which has a lot of checks in it.
Yep. Oh, it's just kind of nice. You know, one of the things that you really want to mitigate when you're making settings is how much of the world... Oh, hello.
3 items in here.
Oh, okay. Hook shot, hook shot. Okay.
Scale.
And
Hammer.
all right.
Wow. So Hammer opens up a load of checks that the bomb bag will also open, a load of boulder grottos and things like that. Hookshot allows us to dip into the forest temple. So that one place, probably the most check dense area in the game, has just really blown the water open here.
Okay, looks like fire is actually our forest med.
Okay.
Okay, yep. So Deku's our water medallion, less value.
Less value, but still
quick.
Important, yeah. Okay, repeat.
Yep. There's copies of most of the hints, except for the foolish ones that they checked right away at Temple of Time.
We got a flea fan in the room. We got much room. I am also a Flea fan, but I'm also a Mario fan. So, especially Mario Sunshine.
Our note sheet says that Deku is water medallion, and so whatever is said on the screen, as long as the required dungeons are marked, I don't care.
It's pronounced Mido. Anything else is unacceptable.
Mido.
Yeah.
Mido Provido.
Also, we haven't talked. Well, we got another big chest here, so let's open this first. Okay, bomb shoes, not a logical item, meaning that we can waste our shoes. But that's the first proper explosive that we have today.
Yes. And even though Lost Woods is foolish, you know what isn't? Goron City.
Goron City. And Chao Goron City can never hurt you.
We have Lullaby marked for Flea. Did we? Where would that have been? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Been marked off. Yeah, I was just going to say, we also picked for scale in Mido.
Yep.
And like, the scale allows you to enter Zora's river as child, it allows you to enter Zora domain through lake. It's a very nice early item to pick up for movement.
Yeah, getting around places as child is a little tricky. Skull mask, nothing. Dancing Dad is... Hammer is like explosives in a lot of ways, but it's not usable as child.
No, he's tiny.
He's small.
He's small. Yeah, we're just kind of seeing how quick this Deku tree is. We're
I know,
almost like
right?
halfway through, and Mario's like just done all the checks pretty much here.
Chuckles does some speed runs for Ocarina of Time, and so I think he's always wondering, how do I go faster?
How quick can we do this? Yeah.
Why are you so fast?
So Flea's decided to head to Sacred Forest Meadow, which has another song for us, rather than going into the Deku tree.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Gonna see basement one skip.
Oh, okay. Mario going for the Tsundere skip here. It's double frame perfect, is that correct?
No, it's the frame. Yeah, it's only the frame of you pressing the up.
There we go.
Yeah.
And that was Lullaby in Sacred Forest Meadow, so I guess
it correctly.
it was
there
just,
we go.
yeah.
It was just delayed. That was all.
Yep. Our trackers know more than we do. Oh, Ice's Minuet.
Yeah, we haven't had a path in it yet. We have no idea where to go at the moment.
Oh, wasn't there one at the top?
Oh, was that a pattern?
I thought I saw blue.
Okay. Thanks, Forest is path. Go on, go.
Yep.
We can get into Forest Temple.
We can go into
We could
Forest
do a
Temple.
whole 2 checks in there. Oh no, we've got a bow as well.
Yeah.
Where did we get a bow? Oh, we got it early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Memory like a fish. Okay, we could do quite a few checks in there, but we can't complete it.
Yeah, we can't complete it.
Alright, spider down.
Do we know how many chews we got yet?
I don't think I've seen. Oh, a flea has returned back to adult.
Yep.
Okay, so absolutely ditched the Deku tree and absolutely ditched everything else.
Very
in that child
interesting
segment.
doing this as adult. There's a trick called flame storage that runners can do. So as child, you light a stick and put it away while it's still in the flame, and then as long as that torch is loaded, you pull it out, your stick is still on fire. Just kind of extends the life of that stick. And it just so happens that these torches are just close enough to the ones back here that you can light them. And so Flea doing this as adult when this is fully accessible as child is a little interesting.
Yeah, so it kind of skips this check that we could do.
Yeah. And it's
Sun
Sun Song. Another vanilla song.
I don't like Sun Song at the moment. It's not my favorite at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Chuckles made it to quarterfinals this year. It's his first year at Speedgaming Live in person. Very
Mario.
excited to have you here.
It's been absolutely wicked. It's been so much fun.
Mario's going for some info.
Yeah.
I like this given what we've seen so far.
This check that was automatic of him doing that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's doing the check. Okay. This is foolish, Mario, but it's okay. We love you still.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't do the rest of the checks because there are some slow checks in Lost Woods.
And it would require some chews that you don't want to be using on foolish checks.
I think Flea's decision to go adult was, I think, interesting on 2 elements. One, you got the hammer.
Yep.
So you can do a lot of the stuff at the hammer lot.
Yep.
But also, I think getting that Forest Temple info might have also dragged him back into an adult segment.
Yeah, I can see that. I wonder, did he do adult shooting when he was here earlier? Because one of the things that you can do, like Dodongo's Cavern, you can do a lot of it with that hammer, and not 5 chews, but 5 chews is, I think,
just get rid
just
of
enough.
just spend them.
Yes. So this is what I hear when people find the 5-pack is they just spend them. And for anyone who participated in the play-in tiebreaker race that happened on Friday, I think that kind of made or broke their routing if they took that philosophy, because the first thing everyone found was a 5-pack of chews.
Yeah, and then one of those chews in one location gave you the bomb bags that have unlimited explosives.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, the whole the chew element is a really interesting part of the game, and where you use your chews and the decision making behind it. I think players more and more often now are just using them. There used to be a lot more save scumming of chews beforehand, but now it's just kind of a case that it feels like everybody's just getting rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, that is something that I only hear specifically with the 5-pack.
Yeah.
There's just something about it. Did you have this problem playing Pokemon, for example? You just kind of hoard your money, no, I don't need potions, I don't need Pokeballs. You never use the rare candies.
No. Yeah.
And then it's the more you get. Okay, Colossus to Bongo.
Okay, and we have Nocturne already.
Yeah.
So that's...
So there are 2 items out there, but there are other songs that could be relevant depending on where those items have landed in the seed.
It's interesting, with the songs that we have already, though. The songs we have left are movement songs, really.
Yeah.
Is Requiem going to be there? That could be one song, but then Spirit's the Light Medallion.
Yeah.
So interesting.
I was kind of thinking Song of Time. Saria's for that forest access could very well be it.
Yeah.
Maybe letters out there.
Yeah.
Because knowing Minuet is a nice, suddenly you're okay, where's my letter? Where's Saria's? How does this get put in logic?
It's just interesting. Flea did the first 2 checks. I think that was a slingshot just there. And is deciding to actually leave after doing those 2 checks. So that's interesting. You don't see that a lot. You don't see people bailing after the first 2 checks often.
Yeah. Usually what I would see, if you have 5 chews, you light up the eyes when you go in, save after that, and then you can scum basically the entirety of the dungeon from there. Okay, a free shield that's very shiny and very useless.
Yeah, like we said, Spirit we don't need to do, so the mirror shield isn't going to be overly helpful today.
Yeah, nope.
Hey, Pyra. Okay, so here, this is our Child Goron City, and it's a bit of a meme in the community, Child Goron City. There's 3 checks here, and it's always in here.
Yeah.
It's always in here.
Yep. So Inko pointing out you don't need chews to do the first 5 checks of DC. That is true. We have a bow, so we can actually explode the bombs around the staircase access that next level.
Is true.
It's not in logic, though, and I think more and more runners are kind of cautious about going out of logic or choosing very niche cases to do so.
So this is a trick that Mario is doing to be able to... Normally you would throw a bomb in this pot, but you can actually just time a chew pretty well.
Yep. Well, there's letters, so that's Minuet available. So there goes my Sarias.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jabu, Fire Medallion as well, but it also opens up Ice. We can get in there. So, yeah, and Child can hand in the letter as well.
Nice spawn, I guess. That's helpful for Flea, should he choose to go back to Deku.
I think the in-logic thing is an interesting, we have some settings that mean that the game is more narrowed, called beatable only. That's definitely more of a stay in logic kind of thing. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I think with these settings, it is one of the things, we've seen how bad going out of logic can be in these settings.
Right.
The qualifier that we did, we saw how bad going out of logic was in that one.
Yep.
Alright, Mario is doing the Composer Grave as Child. Meaning he will be able to do Flame Storage to get this gem.
Yep. And that was the Zora's Domain dual hint, I believe. Looks like one of, I think the torches is the second one, is a
Oh, I
bottle.
never know. Okay, one of them. Okay, yeah, one of them is.
One of them's a bottle and one's trash.
Yeah, the order is just a bit whack.
Oh, Mario.
Ah, nice. Okay. Nothing there.
Nope. Alright, so we have a creator song pickup if Flea doesn't fall off that. Oh, there's Requiem. That's really nice that we don't have to think about crossing, but that makes magic out there more likely.
Yes.
But the nice thing is we do have that scale. We do have Requiem. Easy pickup on the arch if that's the case. And frankly, easy pickup with a chew. I don't think you're skipping that fairy.
No, that's very true. Yes, that fairy is going to be known forever as the bomb lady of Uta.
That fairy, honestly, the number of times I've watched it trip up runners, it's just tragic.
Yeah.
They don't have lullaby or explode. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
First bomb bag found on the Death Mountain Crater fairy. Hammerlocks, the hammer with sphere 0.
Yep. And lullaby is in logic.
That was the fishing, was a wallet on
The
child
jewel?
fishing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Kerry Forest to PG.
Okay, so that hook shot.
Hook is hook locked.
Yep. All right, Mario gonna do some night checks here. Picked up 20 bucks because Dampé steals money from children.
No, you're just paying him for an enjoyable experience of digging corpses.
Hey kid, you want some candy?
And eventually he'll dig up a piece of heart.
And eventually
Normally
it will be
after
a piece
17
of heart.
attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah. More fairy checks there.
Yep. Wouldn't be too surprised if Mario, I'm not sure what his skull count is right now, but probably does these skulls here.
Yeah, so we get 20 and 30 skulls hinted by the school people.
Yep.
10, you gotta do it on your own.
Then you just gotta decide
skulls.
to do or don't do. Oot is Song of Time, another vanilla child song.
That's wild, isn't it? Like.
Yeah. So Lullaby is the only one that wasn't in
So
its
far.
vanilla location so far.
That's 5.
5 with the slingshot, you can get all of them here, so.
Well, that was. Yeah, it's going to be one short for these. Which is a bit of a pain, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
He does have a bottle? No, he doesn't. He doesn't
No.
have Fructose like that, no.
Yep.
Okay. No, that's it. He's going. I
Okay,
think.
yep, that
absolutely
makes
fine.
sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay, Flea's back in DC.
Yep. With that bomb bag, this makes sense.
Yeah, DC.
It's
purple medallion is
required.
required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's required. It's fast. Like,
Oh, Mario's heading to River as child. He knows it's in logic with the scale, so.
interesting to choose to use a chew on this.
That was the slowest climb up the staircase from Flea, who is a AMQ and all major quests speedrunner, and he hopped up there like a bunny rabbit who's just had too much roast turkey at Christmas.
You just say a bunny rabbit that's had too much roast
I
turkey?
don't know. I don't know where I went with that.
Please, no.
I enjoyed that.
Alright, I'm guessing Mario's just doing frogs here. Oh, it didn't do the river, so I guess Mario might break into domain.
He's been quite thorough with this child clean, doing Deku, which didn't really get as much.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing this way the whole tournament. It's worked out well for him. He is our returning champion.
Yeah, he's doing stuff that is, you know, probably more on the safe side.
Yeah.
Whereas Flea has kind of decided, now I have some progression to do. Like I've got a path location I haven't even been to yet, which he was probably on the way to. But he got sidetracked by this bomb bag.
Yep.
So he's kind of like more pushing the progression.
Yep.
And Mario's being like, all right, let me do all this like early sphere stuff, and then maybe think about later on if I'm gonna start being a bit more aggressive.
Yeah. So if Mario is gonna break into domain, did he get the domain dual hint? Or on City Maze? No.
Okay. Yeah, so he doesn't know that that is actually hinted, so
Yeah.
he may do that, which might waste some time.
Yeah, I mean, blue fire bottle is kind of nice because if you were going ice, you just have it. You just unfreeze King Zoro on the way.
That's true.
We will, obviously we know domain is not hinted foolish, but it wouldn't have been anyway with that sometimes hint.
Yeah, we've got Forest to Bongo, Desert Colossus to Bongo. Shadow is what? A stone?
Shadow is a stone, yeah.
Okay. And then PG, Phantom Ganon is also a stone. Okay, so lots of stone hints that we're getting at the moment.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned, we started with our spirit. There's nothing to hint there, and Dodongo's Cavern will never have a hint if it's a med.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it could, but not with
The
Shadow
the
being a
likelihood,
stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about why.
No. Nope.
Okay, first boss down. Oh no, we saw Goma down, but first boss that needs to be down is
First
down.
required boss.
We just wiped out the spiders for all the arachnophobes out there, so.
First boss that we know of. Oh.
Goron City to Bongo. Letter?
Letter?
Link the Goron had letter.
Yeah.
Child Goron City had nothing. Have we been in the maze?
Maze was dead.
That we've done all the checks in there.
Yep.
Okay.
So letter, as we've mentioned, gets us Minuet. So if Saria's... No. We already know Ocarina of Time is vanilla. So it would have to be like Rang is in Forest and Saria's is on Burning Cat kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know yet. That's interesting to say the least. Like, could be something else in ice. Could be something chilling on the boomerang checking Jabu.
Yeah.
Like,
just some nuts on the arch.
oh, just missed that one there.
Okay. So we do have a forced prelude start, so what you just saw was one of the checks is replaced with an item. Often we refer to it as a dead check. This is why I don't want people to do that.
Yeah, because of course that magic is probably on
That
the path
magic's
to Bongo.
probably our path to Bongo. We were getting there with our math on the songs. Like, none of these songs are helpful at this point.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we kind of knew that we were.
Okay.
Kind of knew that we were picking up something interesting in Colossus that was likely item related.
So Kokiri Forest. Okay, so Requiem was in the crater behind that hook shot, right? So that would mean
yes.
that our hovers would also have to be hook locks for that hook to be path in this case.
Yeah, and that would make sense because the other way of crossing the desert is with lava boots.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We're piecing together the logic.
Yep.
Slowly, as we do every single seed.
Yep. We learn as the runners learn. We just happen to get both sets of info at the same time.
Yeah, we're pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
And then we spend the next half an hour like trying to find things to talk about.
Yeah. Who is ahead? We don't really know yet. Flea has a required dungeon completed and has that bomb bag to do so. But Mario's not going to be far behind getting that or the information.
Yeah, I think they've kind of both taken two different directions. Unfortunately, with Mario's direction is that he didn't find anything, basically, in the more cleary kind of Child 1 segment that he did.
Yeah, the more thorough you are in your clearing, it helps you in the late game as you are running out of places to look for items. Whereas, you know, Flea can skip all of this potentially until we end up on a hunt for just a random item somewhere. So Lost Woods being foolish and this being a big chest, probably Big Goron Sword or more choose.
More choose.
Flea won that bet. Double defense is hinted, so it was like, well, this is probably choose or Big Goron Sword. The odds are in favor of that.
Flea just demonstrating that Mido is tiny and we could just backflip over him.
Yep.
Bet you didn't do that as a child.
And yet, we still need it. So when we talk about accessing forest and how that letter is path for that minuet potentially, it's because that backflip is not in Magic.
And Flea made it look really easy. Our main tournament champion at the moment couldn't do it in the final. So
yeah, so we're potentially a scale away from being able to do Water Temple.
yeah, that would be interesting. Another gold scale water temple.
Water will be completable, of course. We have the Dark Link, right? Dark Link loop pin, yes. But
Yeah,
beyond
we got a
that,
central pillar hint as well, which was a small key.
yep. But it locks Song of Time, so even if you were concerned about that, didn't have that information, you know you don't have to think about it.
Flea heading into Path Forest Temple, which is Path to Bongo.
Yep.
And with the long shot, this dungeon is lovely.
Yes, 100%. We don't have a strength yet, so Flea won't be able to complete this unless a strength is in here.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Possible.
Yep. I would say the strength hints are probably the hardest to like suss out. So if a strength is in here as path, you get to start wondering, but why?
Yeah. 3 strengths in the game. They're progressive, so when you pick up the first one, it is strength 1, independent of which one you pick up.
Yep.
And then we slowly go down the strength 2 and strength 3 train.
Yep.
Of wondering, why do I have to go into light trial?
Why do I need this? Yeah, well, the interesting thing is there could, you know, just be one strength available in the overworld, and it can be hinted for any of our stone bosses.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
More choose, definitely path.
Yeah, lots of, like, we've got the hammer, we've got the bomb bag, we've got the choose. You know, not every seed is like this with explosives.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
There's quite often dead seeds with no explosives, and you're just crying in
50
boulders
minutes in,
everywhere.
where's my bomb bag? Where is it? And then you start questioning life, why do I play this game? I hate it.
A common occurrence.
How could this computer make me feel so victimized?
Where did the game touch you?
Show me on this trophy where Uter hurt you.
Oh yeah, we should really show off the little... I've got the number 2 trophy because I'm the number 2 commentator, and Mel is the number 1 commentator.
For now. We have pitched some audience participation. Hey, there we go. So if we say something particularly insightful or that, you know, Vidya back there agrees with, he might be awarding us first place comm.
And I just got validated, so thank you. So what else do we need to get into the Shadow Temple? We need dins. That's it to access it, but then hover boots to complete it. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
And doing Shadow early is great. One of the best things in the game, completing that dungeon early.
Oh, I know. That's like, it's so interesting. Like, all of these seeds are different, and yet so many of them are so similar. And somehow the Go mode Shadow Temple at the end of the seed is consistent.
Just watching, Mario is actually doing Chew strats on King Dodongo. He entered this fight with 2 bomb chews. This is very hard. This is frame or near frame perfect tricks going on here. And he's just made it look like a walk in the park. Absolutely incredible.
Flea taking advantage of that magic, gonna set Furor's wind here because we have done all we can do.
Yeah, that first backflip that Mario did is 4 frame perfect.
Yep.
And I don't know how many frames you have to do that ground jump strat with the chew, but like amazing. Like what? That is so good.
The swag strats are real.
Yeah. To go in there with the confidence of 2 chews and doing that. Alright, Flea's heading to Lake Hylia.
Yep.
First time I've been in here tonight?
Yes. So let's talk about these runners a little bit.
Okay.
So I already said Mario's our returning champ consistently in kind of that top bracket of the season tournament for Ocarina of Time Randomizer. You're more familiar with Flea than I am because you were a League org. So, like...
Yeah, so I guess, like, Flea's a bit more of a kind of quiet runner in terms of performances, but has definitely been consistent at kind of a getting into an upper level for quite a while now. So you know, we have a kind of a division ranking system in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Discord. He's been in kind of like the 2nd and 3rd divisions for quite a few seasons now. He is a speedrunner of the game in a few different categories, in Defeat Ganon and All Main Quest, which is a glitchless category. Am I 30 seconds above him in that category? Maybe. It's fine, don't worry.
Did Flea's second run best your previous PB though?
Am I sitting here talking to you now and he's up on the stage? Yes, that is true.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this earlier. Flea is currently the only undefeated person in this tournament, so Mario did take a loss in the group phase.
Yeah, like Mario's first match was an L. So getting through groups, was 2nd place in his group.
Yep.
And then, yeah, just having a nice run through brackets at the moment.
Yep.
So the first round of the brackets was a bit of a giant killer. Some of the real big names got knocked out in Group 1 in bracket round 1. What the Hell's Exodus. Getting knocked out. Sponge got knocked out. So
just some arrows on top of the lab here. So this particular play, while not a huge time investment, not going to pay out. Mario did pick up letter.
Yeah, this is going to be Mario's confirmation that there's actually nothing else in Goron City.
Yeah.
He's the one that's done the child Goron City checks.
Yep. I mean,
interesting kind of thinking about Flea's route at the moment. So what kind of like He came adult because he had the explosives with the hammer. He came here because of the fire path. He picks up the bomb bag. He did progression DC. He did Way of the Hero, progression Forest Temple. And kind of he's a bit like, now what? Now where do I go?
Yeah.
So I guess the next kind of thing is, if you've collected all your songs you can collect, is start doing kind of big dense locations. Try and pick up hints, and these grottos have a lot of hints in them.
And there's the adult like dual hint by the looks of it. Oh, maybe it was domain.
Oh yeah, we just saw the.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Mario picking up that bomb bag here by the looks of it.
Yeah, Mario's doing the kind of checks that Flea's already done in this location, so just seeing a bit of a repeat from him.
Yep.
New stuff on Flea's side.
Yep. And this is where, you know, that thoroughness that Mario had, Flea could very well just go back to Deku and do a lot of that Goron City path.
Big chest.
Bolero. Interesting. Claim check, okay.
That opens up one check.
That opens up one check that is not hinted.
Yeah.
And now knowing where Bolero is, sucks to turn in again.
Yeah, so Bolero on the song from Burning Kakariko, you need the Forest Medallion, the Fire Medallion, and the Water Medallion to get a song which doesn't really do anything.
Yep.
So we won't be completing, or we don't need to complete Fire, Deku, and Jabu for the song that's on that location.
Yep. And Flea looking like a Valley GTG play here.
Yeah, the horse has put access in GTG in. We have a bow, which opens up loads of checks in GTG. A hook shot is pretty good for GTG. You kind of want 2 strengths, because there's a block that requires 2 strengths to be pushed to do some checks.
Yeah.
But this is probably his densest location of checks to go to.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Oh.
Thought in a minute. Okay. Come on.
Is that 3? 3 of
3, 4.
4?
3, yeah.
3, yeah. This is one of those tricky things, because it's like, okay, GTG does require a lot of items. We have a lot of those items. Song of Time, however, is locked behind all of the dungeons that we have left. And we already have magic and lights and a bow, so like, there's safety in that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, it's definitely going to be something that we can do early-ish.
Yeah.
And therefore can have the items that, basically the whole array of items that could be needed can be in there.
Yep.
Oh. Desert closest to Morpher. What was on?
The long shot. Long shot.
The long shot.
Duh.
Yeah, come on. All right.
We know what we're doing. I'm like, what are they? The nuts? Is it the nuts? Oh, if we can a death warp here, he can manipulate the damage here a little bit and kind of extend how
at the same time.
How many hits it gives you. And yeah, Mario is going ice, like someone in chat said. I don't hate this. Having Minuet does not suck. And I believe he also has that blue fire bottle. So a nice thing. You don't have to worry about abandoning this check that he'll do here.
Yeah, this is, again, I think there's a couple of different options runners could have gone down here. Ice is a good one. We know it's accessible, even though we haven't moved King's Aura. You're about to see, for people who are newer here, you're going to see a really cool glitchless jump that will bypass this fish. That was discovered accidentally. A few seasons ago now.
I have heard that it was discovered accidentally, forgotten about, and then rediscovered.
That sounds like Ocarina of Time, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
And Mario, one of the best executors in the game,
really
just demonstrating that, because again, Mario made that look simple. I definitely have been seen to be floundering around doing that 4 or 5 times. So
that copy of the central pillar hint Flea possibly setting up for a hook shot extension here, trying to remember how to do it. There we go. Okay, okay. Not quite. There. Nice.
Oh, wow. That's very good. Yeah, that's a couple of ESS turns, side hop in. Another trick called hook extension, and picking up the strength there.
Good call there. I mean, like you said, that was available early. Kind of extends that thought, like, okay, that hook shot path. Not only do we think, all right, we need a hook shot for this.
Might need a hook shot for something else. Yeah, very swift. Yeah, we do have this Ruto's letter path, which kind of nudges Mario in the direction of ice.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we have Minuet hinted here, but Saria's is going to be on Prelude? Is that where it is? Saria's on Prelude? Yeah.
What was it, Goron City 2? Bongo?
Yeah.
Just so I remember.
Alright, big chest here in GTG lobby and a big chest here in ice. Dins, we need that.
Yeah, Dins is a good item. That gets us into Shadow Temple. We're going to see another big chest here on Ice Cavern.
Yeah. Yeah, Inko, hovers being in Forest would make a lot of sense here. Yep.
No.
Seems right.
That does absolutely nothing. That's the Stone of Agony.
Yep.
You can now know where your grottos are.
Yep.
Good job we're good enough to know where they are.
Yep. Yeah. I would say Mario won't feel great about going to ice if the only thing we can pick up out of here ends up being Minuet. It's still really nice. Again, knowing where that Bolero is, when Mario does field, turning in claim check is going to be a lot easier for him to decide to do.
So Flea had a change of heart in GTG after he picked up the strength. That allows him to complete Forest Temple.
Yep.
He had Fro's Wind in Forest Temple.
Yep.
He has gone. He decided to try and hit this ice switch again. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah. I agree with this play because you have Forest. Granted, there are a lot of keys in here, but there are still quite a few items left to find in here as well.
And Forest is path, and we haven't found anything in here yet.
Forest is path. One of those items will be important, and as mentioned, hovers in Forest. Feels right.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of running out of things that really could be like, the hovers is the last thing that we need to complete Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
Of course, we could find an item that leads to the hover boots, but we could find it here.
Chat pointing out, all Flea needs is a scale. A scale and hovers.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
This...
Don't say it.
Okay. We'll see where the hover boots are.
When we were told what time this race was starting, I was like, I'm going to be here until 1. I'm going to be here in this chair next to you until 1 a.m.
Yeah, wow, like, yeah, a scale or iron boots. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah. That is rough for Mario. This is already looking extremely rough for Mario.
That's something to beat Morpher, not Bongo, at the moment.
Yep.
We have one more item to find in Path Forest Temple to Bongo.
Well, I mean, there's no reason that it can't be the path to Bongo.
It could be, but that just means you know where the iron boots are.
Yeah.
Like, it's giving you pretty good direction. There's not a lot of places it could be.
Yep.
We didn't. I don't think we peeked what was at the bottom of Fountain.
I think it was hinted.
Okay.
That doesn't say it was hinted.
Big chest and ice.
Always a slingshot.
There's Minuet.
Yep.
So it looks like the letter wasn't pointing towards Ice Cannon today.
Nope. Well, I mean, it could still be just because of that forest access.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
For example, if hovers are still in forest and fire is hovers locked, sorry is inherently locked behind all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What Inko is saying, we're in is that?
That's the hover boots.
That's the hover boots.
Yeah. That's the
Right.
hover boots on
Well, so
the fountain floor.
letter for minuet for irons.
Yeah.
For hover
For
boots.
the hover boots in the bottom of the fountain. Well,
That is,
we're in no mode.
yeah, we're in no mode, and that is a fast no mode, and I don't. It's unlikely there's another item here.
Yeah.
And Flea's gonna go do water,
Yeah.
find nothing there, and the only other check that you're going to think about doing.
Yeah. I mean, what you don't want to find here being Flea is something like the boomerang.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, now I can do either Jabu or
Yeah, Jabu. I mean, yeah. Serenade for Mario. Oof. I think this is gonna be. I mean, all of Shadow left to do, but. Yeah, this is. This is looking really good for Flea.
Well, I think what's going to happen here is that Mario's got information about where the hover boots are. Flea is probably going to take his items into Water Temple first.
Yep, I agree.
He's probably going to clear all of Water,
Yep,
which is slow.
yep.
Water Temple is not a quick temple. There's 4 items. They're all over the place.
Yeah, but
water
we-
is slow, as in swimming through water is slow.
Yeah, but think of all the hints that we have for water. You're not doing Central Pillar. You're not doing Darkling Glue.
True.
That's a fast water
A
temple.
lot of the slow
I'm
stuff
good.
is already done. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of the slow stuff in water is hinted. And then, oh, there's a big chest there. Oh, this is Mario's side.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're just seeing, this is the choose.
but there's a big chest here.
There's a big chest here. Imagine if it was arrows down there and this is
Right.
just the hover boots.
Put the spoiler lock away.
Okay, so
We tell him this all the time. He does this all the time, where he's
This
just
is so- yeah.
memeing things into existence while he plays. If you are cheering for Mario, that is a really good thing.
Yeah.
For Flea to potentially follow.
there's more bait to follow,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Flea might be thinking, I didn't do Deku. That's a nice child segment there.
Yeah, Jabu, Deku.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Mario prolonging, like, not doing Fortress GTG area, whether or not he makes that decision to dip in and picks up that Dins.
Yeah, Deku, well, we've been in Deku, we know he doesn't have anything,
Yeah.
but
You're right.
Flea doesn't know that.
Flea should be able to figure out that nothing can be in Deku.
The hook that Mario is missing is in the Desert Colossus Fairy.
Yes.
Um,
Mario has Requiem, has not played it yet.
there is a hint for Desert Colossus to Morpher in Gerudo Valley. Oh, Mario has actually just not been to Desert Colossus yet. This is his
Yeah,
first trip.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yep. Flea almost done with Forest here.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good decision for Flea to push the progression stuff and not do the cleary kind of stuff. Sometimes it doesn't pay out. It's not always that this happens. You know, Mario could have easily found, you know, something in that segment that would have been really beneficial.
Thinking about it, Mario probably just reverses here, right?
Potentially. Depends on, he hasn't got, yeah, he's done all he can in Forest Temple. He's done DC, so he's just done Ice, so yeah, GTG's looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, especially picking up long shot here, you probably are like, okay, how do I find that scale or those irons?
Yeah, Mario has taken up that long shot, which there is a hint for, but whether he finds it going this way, he might not do.
Yep.
We'll see if Flea, see if he tries to do the zero cycle. This is a strat for all main quests, so we'll see if he takes it on.
Yep. So when you're in like a head-to-head kind of high-stakes match like this, do you go for those riskier strats or do you just play it safe?
So there's an interesting thing with SGL in particular, because people are playing on new setups that they've like. You know, every time you play in a match, you are in a different location on a different monitor in a different region at the same time.
Yep.
So I've been playing a lot safer. I've not been doing things like box skip. I've not been doing things like things that could be very time based. Maybe you haven't got the sync up with the controller and things. It also depends on how good you're feeling, and everybody always feels behind. But how far behind do you feel? Like, are you really far behind, or do you think you're kind of on pace? I think if you're on pace, maybe you don't take the riskier strats. If you need to find an angle somewhere, maybe you start doing things that might save time but might lose time.
Sure. All right. Mario is reversing here, so should see that rooftop chest. But we have seen more than one runner just kind of forget.
Skip that in the past, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, generally what happens is that you get caught by these guards. Like, Mario has to get caught by the guard.
Yeah.
But you get caught, you're in a position to peek this chest, and we'll see if Mario does this long shot, hook shot extension strat.
Yep. Flea was going to skip that heart container that was on Phantom Ganon, and then was like, I'm going into water.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, this is a different setup. Yeah. That's a very very niche. Like, you don't use it a lot. You need long shot, and it needs to be a big chest. So we don't see that often.
Oh, quick boss key here. But as we mentioned, Flea is likely to full clear this place following those iron boots. So Mario... Okay. So one of the things I like when you have long shot, you just long shot up to those vines from here. Oh.
I didn't think he was supposed to backflip through there.
I don't, yeah, that was unintended. Mario thinking about what I just said.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, getting the setup to actually do that, yeah. Okay.
You just run back to the box. The long shot's long enough. Alright. And then with that long shot, you can just whoop.
There we go. Yeah, getting that hook shot extension from the jail probably saves, 25 seconds, maybe something like that.
Yeah. So here's the real question. Does Mario do what Flea did? and save that time. Peek the lobby here, set FW, gearing up for that. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So
And it's just like, we see this quite often, just like, you just do this bow check.
oh,
and
the
then it's just
moonlighting's
like,
back.
oh,
Let's go.
Somebody turn the lights off. Mario's finding the funny side of it. Somebody leaned on the lights.
That's like the light, the Furor's wind, like, light that it leaves behind.
We need that, yeah, we need the green bubble above us.
Okay,
And the
so
lights are going
Mario,
back on.
having that information about the hovers, he is extremely fast. Flea also extremely fast, but like you mentioned, Mario just high execution player.
You would expect it, like in a foot race, Mario to kind of take it.
Yeah, and so with that quick boss key and knowing where those hovers are, he might have made that decision at just the right time. But we will see what Flea opts to do.
Yeah, we've got to see where this BK is. There's a big chest here.
Choose.
It's just right.
Okay.
You don't really need it.
That could be bad for Flea.
Well, I say we don't really need it, but now he's just found the iron boots, which potentially have to pick up a strength.
Yeah.
That's gonna slow up his water routing.
Yeah.
Because, well, he doesn't need to go into the Dartling loop, so that's okay.
No.
Doesn't need the small keys.
It's the GTG call now that he has to make that decision, and this is exactly the kind of thing that, like, Flea's on the clock.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a decision on that. He's going to say, all right, I'm looking from my perspective. There is, you want to do things that are as efficient as possible. You want to do strength 2 stuff.
Yep.
Good job that Spirit Temple is the light medallion and it's barren, because that would be like an A location to go to.
Yeah.
Getting back to GTG, bit of a pain.
Yep.
Getting to ice is even worse though.
Yep. Yeah, that Minuet being in there, Bolero again being on Burning Cack behind Jabu and fire completion. I would say the best bet for Flea is that he's thinking, okay, I also have claim check, so if I do that route, I'm turning in claim check, I'm doing, fountain, I'm doing ice, but that's going to be a really tough call.
Yeah, this is a massive decision point, and it's like added onto the decision point of maybe using the boomerang as well in Jabu. So
well, yeah, that's one of the worst things. Like you said, boomerang was probably one of the worst things that Flea could have found here, because having that serenade and having that scale, Jabu is easy to access, but it sucks.
Yeah, and the strength, like, it's a helpful item. Like, what is it? What we're kind of looking for? We're looking for hover boots. So we can't get into Ganon. So it's not gonna be like strength 3 stuff.
Yes, exactly. It's just that the ever-present call of Gerudo Training Grounds is this strength for keys. Is this strength for items?
Because we didn't peek the maze.
No.
Like, we don't know what's in the maze in GTG.
No, Fleet got that Dins and just bailed. Earlier, he did kind of peek the first couple of Shadow, just get that started, which...
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
In this case, we know it's not going to have anything. Flea should know it's not going to have anything. What does Flea have left? Just...
the compass check and this... he's going back to the start.
Beating Morpha.
Oh, he's picked up the boss key. Okay. Oh yeah, he was completing. He's already got the boss key. He is just clearing the whole of Water Temple out. Yeah. Okay, so last kind of bit of Water Temple. This Morpher fight. One of the things in Rando is that we remove a lot of cutscenes. That allows us to do a quite cool, quick grab of Morpher, which you can't do in the vanilla game, because you have to normally jump to one of the platforms to start the fight. But we can just go and snipe Morpher out of thin air.
Here are those irons for Mario. He's nodding. He is functionally in go mode now. He knows where he needs to go to get those hovers. He knows that he can beat water, knows that he'll be able to beat Shadow.
Here's that quick grab I was talking about, and he's just gonna...
Oh no.
Try and put him in a corner. but that's going to put the Aniba back in the juice.
Yeah. You know, we talk about how Twin Rova is the most troll, but I think it's Morpha.
Oh, yeah. Morpha is... Yeah, that's...
If Morpha wants to, it's just like, no, I'm not in range. I realize your long shot just hit me directly in the center, but no, it didn't.
The hitbox is wild.
It's the most gas lady boss that's ever.
And I think we kind of expect that Twin Rover is Twin Rover. And we're used to Twin Rover being Twin Rover.
Yeah.
But sometimes Morpha's just going to be like, I'm jelly, it's fine.
What's a hitbox?
Yeah. Okay, decision time for Flea.
I know. I'm so excited, so curious.
I think
so worried.
I would get on the horse.
I'd go GTG.
Because you also do the Tektite Grotto.
Yeah.
And that has the Iron Boots requirement.
Morpha is exponential.
Yeah, that is true. It's either rapid or you're just there, like, suffering.
So if we see a prelude here from Flea, I would expect Northfield.
If it was me, it would be
GTG.
Prelude, but that's because I'm trying to call opponent.
That's because you're trying to play a song, yeah.
Oh, quick shoot the sun. Is that
Is that another slingshot? Didn't we already see 3? Is that the 5th slingshot?
Alright, this is definitely an opponent play.
Yeah, it is.
I would do this. This is...
Nope, I think that this makes
sense.
total sense in Flea's case, especially finding that strength. It keeps going against him.
Yeah.
That information that Mario has is just so strong right now.
We're really tracking, like, the time between, or the time that Mario has taken in Forest Temple.
Yeah.
And he's already on Blue Po. He's already about halfway through this dungeon.
So Mario, we would basically expect to finish Forest, walk out, long shot up to go into Fountain again, pick up those hovers.
That's true. Yeah. Now he picks up those Iron Boots.
And then we'll just pick Water or Shadow to do first. Meanwhile, Flea, might go do Tektite like you said first, but I can't imagine that this isn't a GTG play.
Yeah, following the path up to the Tektite Grotto, which is gold scale or iron slots, and we don't have the gold scale, so this would fit the path of the Iron Boots.
Yep. Skipped lab dive though. Obviously, irons is not in logic for that. But
Yeah.
Hover boots are in icy waters in Zora's Fountain, so the item that's in the deep center. Oh, yep. Flea could have baited us, turned the other way towards river. Is not doing that.
Yeah, true.
I was kind of like,
that is
maybe
true.
save a little time, you know.
Yeah. You know what's actually really annoying? That you don't have Minuet, you don't have Bolero, so get into ice.
Exactly.
Is painful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And the best position Flea was in was immediately after completing Forest, which is what we're going to see Mario do.
Yeah, because it's just a hook shot away.
Yep. And it makes total sense. Again, it's very easy. Minuet's hinted in ice. You know that Forest is path. You can, determine that in some way Sarias is probably behind Minuet, so why would I do that?
I think the way the timings this is going to work is that Flea's going to be done with GTG before Mario finishes Forest Temple. Because he only needs to do Stalfos, Rupees, Wolfos.
Yeah.
And then he's there. Mario's got to do Neg and then PG and push in the very quick sped up walls of Forest Temple.
I would expect Mario to be like long shotting up to go pick up hovers.
Alright, in case I'm toilets. Toilet 2, but we don't have Song of Time, so not doing that.
Yeah, Toilet's going to be nothing today, so that Song of Time lock check here in GTG, it's nothing. It's behind all of our needs.
And then we also do need to peek the maze as well.
Yeah.
to see if it's just small key logic lock in there.
Can you tell Dastar the toilet's clogged?
Where is he?
Oh, in chat.
Oh, is he not here?
He was here.
Okay. I mean, he can clearly hear us.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dustar, you're going to be
Yeah, but it's in
disappointed.
chat. Went to put stuff upstairs. It's kind of funny seeing everyone behind us here on camera.
Yeah. Okay, Wolfus room. You know what? We were having this conversation today about this room and how different, how people do this room differently.
How people manipulate the Wolfos.
Yeah, and we were saying like doing it this way is probably the most infuriating to watch people. 'Cause it's just like it's so varied. It's so, like you don't know what's going to happen in this room.
I just always expect that I'm gonna end up hook shotting all of these and slashing because I don't know what it is about me and Wolfos. I have the worst RNG with them. That Wolfos at the end of Ice Cavern, I spend like 5 minutes on it because it just keeps running around and blocking, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, there is. The way that I've learned to do it is when you target it, you basically get your hook shot right in the side of its foot.
Oh.
And then that kind of stuns it. Yeah. Big chest.
Oh, hey, honestly, that bottle, you might think I'm going ice.
That's true.
Water Boss Key was in cracked wall top file, so it'll be really quick for Mario.
I knew this would be close between these two events happening, and I was correct. So.
Except the maze is left.
Yeah, but I wasn't counting the maze. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
There's going to be big chests in here. He may decide to do more of the dungeon. Oh, there is one. He's going to have to count. He's got picked up 2 keys. So that is what? That chest is 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2, 6 key lock.
I mean, that flea should be like, that's trash.
6 key locks. You don't have Song of Time.
Yeah.
It could be strength 2 to pick up enough keys.
Dude, how many small keys has he abandoned here?
How many have we seen already?
Yeah. It's interesting that when Flea had to come back in and go through the left loop anyway to not peek the maze. Typically runners want to get a feel for, okay, how many keys might I need?
Yeah, there are 2 keys in here. So there were 2 keys in this area.
Yep, and here is Mario going to get those hover boots that will be go mode for him, even though functionally he's been in go mode as soon as he picked up that strength and dins.
Yeah, he needs 4 keys to pick this up, but logically it requires 6 because you can use 2 of the keys in the opposite direction.
Yep.
So yeah, that would mean that there needs to be 4 more available keys. And I that doesn't include the right-hand side because Song of Time won't be available.
So Mario won't even need to change the water level. He'll see that boss key and cracked wall, and it's just easy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes, that's going to be really rapid for him. Okay.
Yeah.
So now,
So
Flea is really on that time.
yeah. What would we call water in that case? 5 minutes? It's still slow.
Not even that.
But you've got long shot. You're long shotting down there to go up that pillar.
Yeah. 4. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if Mario sets FW.
I was going to say you could set FW as well. Okay, please save quick. So he's going to check the other side now, just to see what's on the platform, which is basically 9 key locks because we can't get Song of Time.
Yeah. And there's a key here, so this both of these should be nothing.
Flea realizing he got massive bases, and basically has 1 check left.
Yep.
It's the hot boots.
Yep. Okay, playing. Oh no, not Jabu.
Oh, is he age changing to Jabu rather than the 1 check in Fountain?
There's that boss key. Never worried for Mario there.
Wow, this
Oh,
is an age change
no.
back to child.
Yep.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So Mario's gonna have an extremely quick water here.
Water Temple never has checks.
Yeah.
Never has items. Until it really matters.
Yep. And this decision, like we were talking about earlier, I think is entirely based on access. Like, Flea can get to Jabu easily and quickly.
Yeah. If he had Valera, he would have gone to ice.
He'd have gone ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even then, like, the time difference, obviously Flea would have had the advantage in that case. With Mario still needing to do this, but it would have been almost non-existent.
Does he have 2 bottles?
Yeah.
So at least he can pick up a fish.
Yep.
But this is basically curtains at this point.
Yeah.
He's going to complete the whole of Jabu.
Yep.
Which is an easy 8-minute kind of time sink.
Yeah. It would have been very interesting if he had chosen to go to ice, like how that timing would have worked out, but Mario will be halfway through Shadow by the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of just all come down to
Mario's gamble here. If you are just looking for boss key or a single item, Mario does compass first. It's not going to pay off in this like it did in his match earlier. No.
Trying to
Okay.
identify the hookshot
So
target.
we're calling it a 7-minute water now.
Just double the amount of time for that, yeah.
So one of the things I like to do if I have iron boots, I peek that central bow target.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Like, do I have to do this? No. Amazing.
Getting this cracked wall is going to be
So
pretty
quick.
easy with
Yeah.
chews.
I think Mario might not have a chew, actually.
Okay.
It doesn't matter anyway. He said FW.
We've seen about 74.
Yeah.
So Flea has
I
30
think one of
chews.
the packs is in here.
Okay.
Oh, he has 10. Okay.
Okay, all
That's done.
Yeah.
He'll have to come back up to use FW, but that's quick.
Okay. This is a banned glitch in glitchless runs.
The hook shot.
The hook
Yeah.
shot in of the chest.
Yeah.
One of the things we allow in Rando for accessibility.
Yep. We call it glitch space less.
Yeah.
Less glitches. Flame storage, another kind of major one, and ground jumps kind of. Those are the big ones.
Here's the quick grab that we saw before.
Yep. Morpho playing very nice for Mario there, just staying in the corner, chill out.
Mario's Morpha was a more like consistent, more thicker jelly, which was hook shotable this time round.
It was more like preserves.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
Or like fruit leather.
Thick jam.
Fruit leather.
There's a big chest here.
No.
It's probably a chew pack.
It's so unfortunate.
It's gonna be strong.
It's a bummer. Every big chest that Flea finds just hurts more and more, honestly.
And eventually you run out of items that can be in big chests.
Yeah. And this is where, this is brutal on this screen.
Yeah, this is vibrant. This is radioactive.
Yeah, as much of a
Jabu.
psychedelic trip Jabu usually is, the screen that we're looking at is extra.
Flea not doing vanilla the boomerang check because it's not locked by the boomerang. Because it's the vanilla boomerang chest.
Yeah, yep.
And that's where you find it. The
Yep.
boomerang.
Oh. Mario spawning a super fairy here by playing storms to this gossip stone that's going to refill his magic and his health.
I like how you call it a super fairy.
That's what it is.
I call it a giant fairy.
It's a soup, like in Wind Waker, a super fairy because it refills your magic.
Oh, wow, okay. Right.
There are a few of those hidden around the world. If you place storms in the lobby of GTG, one spawns, and there's one in the after wind tunnel room in Shadow if you play Sunsong. Don't ask me why I know that.
Wait, say that again?
In the after wind tunnel room in Shadow,
Oh,
if you
yes,
play
sorry.
Sunsong there, it
Yeah.
spawns a super fairy.
Yeah. I thought you meant like in the tunnel. I was like,
No.
I was like,
In the
"Woof."
room after.
That's information.
Yeah, in the room after. I told someone that once, and then they tried to catch it in a bottle, which you can't do.
Yeah. I think.
I felt so bad watching that. I'm like, oh.
Just imagine if you could do that.
No, that'd be great. Free magic you can carry around in a bottle?
I think there's a
Amazing.
flag in Child DMT when you're climbing that you can also spawn one.
Do you think the super fairies are what they like make the blue potion out of? They just like catch them in a bug net and
But how?
boil
Okay,
them?
so red potions would be the normal fairies,
Yeah.
but then what would be the green potions?
I don't know, the great fairies. They just follow them around.
The green fairy children.
They're spit or
The
something.
Kakiri?
What? No, like the great
fairy children.
They are, but I meant the great fairies.
Oh,
They like
okay.
gift you the magic.
Okay. Delightful.
Oh, a master. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That makes it sound like you're drinking a smoothie, though. Like the
I think
potions are
they
smoothies.
could be quite thick, the potions.
Yeah,
I don't imagine them being like pure liquid.
yeah, that's fair.
There was a YouTube video about what a green potion would contain by a certain YouTuber.
Was it absinthe?
4 days of intense video gaming has come down to this. That's a big chest
Yeah.
that Mario's not going to open.
No, absolutely not. Mario. I don't think Mario feels bad about where he is, but I don't think he feels good because in a situation like this, I think it's hard to feel good.
Well,
when
he did ice,
he did ice.
and he might be thinking that
Like,
if my opponent like just found the hover boots and avoided ice cannon,
Yeah.
then he's done a whole other dungeon. He did all that river stuff. He did the name.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like, so if Flea had gone to ice right after finding those irons, which, as we mentioned, was the most natural time to do it with the warp songs that we have and the information we had about those.
yeah.
Like, it's just, yeah, you skip
hard.
ice, you know that you've already got the dins and the strength and everything was on the way or hinted, like,
I wouldn't go to ice in Fleet's mission after doing forest. I would have gone straight to water because your aggressive dungeon that is being directed towards the path. Like, yeah, okay, ice. I think it's one of those things that you just take kind of the bit of a gamble that like let's try and just wipe this out all in one go. And there's just more checks in water.
yeah. Mario with the one arrow left after that room. Water and ice have the same number of checks. And
But there's only the fountain fairy.
adds more.
Yeah, but the irons are only leading towards the fountain fairy.
Bottom.
Yeah.
Lake.
Yeah. You know what?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, that one icy water check compared to the 4 in water.
Yeah.
I'm saying that wasn't the dark liquid was hinted as an ice, so 3
Yeah.
ice ones.
I thought you said it the other way. The
Oh,
water
okay.
had more, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That is false information, Chuckles 501. Yeah, so the clock expired on Flea basically as soon as Mario decided to not do the rest of GTG. Looks like Mario will be returning as champion this
so
year,
repeat.
but never say never. It's not over until it's over. We've seen some absolutely crazy things over the last few days.
When was the last time that Mario saved?
Yeah, exactly.
Our VC crash?
I think he actually said this, that he saves every time he menus in this
Wow,
tournament.
really?
Yeah. So we'll watch.
yeah, wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, Flea gonna be going to ice by the looks of it.
If you just get in that habit of saving every single time, like you're adding a second by doing the save.
But how much do you save
Yeah.
if something happens?
Especially in like a qualifier or something like that. Like that'd be incredible when there's no
Yeah.
FPA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mario does play on a Wii Virtual Console, which has a higher chance of having a VC crash than an emulator, partly because it's called a VC crash for
So it
a
happens
reason.
on VC. But if you
'Cause
play
it
on
ha-
Dolphin, it emulates the VC crash.
It emulates
Not
the VC.
entirely wrong.
Yep. And as we have learned, you know, emulators too can crash. You're on a computer. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I definitely had my fair share of Project 64 crashes.
Yep.
At the same rate, I probably have like VC crashes now. So that's because my laptop just couldn't handle
I was gonna
a
say.
video game from 1998.
Yeah, I recently heard that it has way more to do about the actual like computer in that case. Yeah, so this is the room I was referring to that has the Samsung Fairy.
All right, Flea's going to. I think he probably knows in his head now that this is the only check left that actually can hold the item that he needs.
So in this case, already doing water, obviously Mario would be very ahead in Shadow, but a death at this point in Shadow as we look at Mario with a single heart left.
Yeah, Shadow is brutal.
Shadow's brutal.
Yeah, Bongo's mean.
Bongo's mean, voiding is mean.
Yeah.
Everything in this dungeon is just.
Wow, you saved.
Okay. Alright, yep. Flea not really wasting any time, just looking down and sinking in resignment by the look of his face.
It's the hoverboots. My SGL hoverboots voice.
It's the hover boots.
You're all looking at us at the moment. Actually, the webcams of the runners running, but they are about 9 feet away from us.
Yeah.
They're actually really close, elevated on a plinth, on a platform, which is what, a foot off the ground, where the peanut gallery here behind us can actually see them. They are facing each other. They've got screens back to back, and they are facing each other. And we'll see the well-known SGL stand up to declare that you are the winner.
Yeah.
Which I did 4 times.
Yeah.
I was on my bum for one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good pop-off. You feel bad for the loser of these matches, but I do love a good pop-off.
Well, I told Lefty when I played him that I was going to celebrate if I win.
Yeah.
And celebrate I did.
Yep. Well, even so, I mean, Flea, excellent runner, will make really good progress here in Shadow by the time this is over.
I don't think he's going to get to the end of Shadow.
I would not expect quite the end, but I could easily see Boat even.
Yeah, Boat, yeah. Yeah, sounds reasonable, depending on how double iron knuckles go.
Yep.
It's like, since one death to Bongo might put this wide open.
Yep.
Like, you wouldn't expect it, but I think a Bongo charge is 4 hearts.
It is. Yeah. So this is just rando.
Yeah, and it's actually like just an unfortunate set of circumstances. For like we thought he might have had this in the bag.
Yeah, it totally seemed like
half
Flea
an
had
hour
this
ago.
in the bag until we saw those hovers.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of spiraled into that strength.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that strength being in water behind
Yeah.
those irons, that boomerang being in forest as well as a potential. It just kind of...
I think I preferred Flea's more attacking the progression option early on in the seed, which got him the advantage to start off with. And then I just don't think you can blame him for
absolutely
doing the strength 2 and then being like, Jabu's got a load of checks, I'm doing that, and then I'll spend the really long walk and get him into...
Mario.
Oh, nice save. Okay.
Yeah, even saved the one cycle there.
Yeah.
I was like, that's way too late. You're gonna like 3 hits. Nope. You stun it, and then there's an actual like stun lock. And if you hit that rhythm right, Bongo's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, there was nothing like... We've seen some seeds today where the seed was pretty mean, and seeds can be mean. This is a nice seed. Like, there's not...
Yeah. Flea's earlier match, the semi-final match, was particularly brutal. The fact that he even was like, yeah, I'll play again today.
yeah, I know, yeah. 3 hours, 20-minute seed, whatever it was.
Yeah. Insane time length for these settings. They're designed to be faster because of the like abbreviated span of time. There we go. And Mario's gonna go into climb.
Yeah, heading towards Ganon's now.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to know how Mario is feeling at the moment.
I know, right?
So,
I bet his heart rate is just through the roof.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he's got a Fitbit or something like that on him later.
Yeah,
to see what
right.
his heart rate is like. It's just a wild feeling and a wild experience playing in person. It's nothing anything like online when you're at home, you know, in your PJs, just playing a seed, chilling on Twitch or whatever. But like when you feel the heat of the room, you've got people all around you just playing different various video games.
He just took a deep breath there, so I think that's like a center. I think he's glancing over to see if he can see if Flea is raising his hand.
Yeah. Because, I can see why Mario may think that he's actually behind in this.
He did a lot of stuff that led him to not quite like stumbling onto the hover boots because it was hinted.
Yeah. He just was able. He would put himself in a position to do the peak.
Yep.
Like he didn't know that the iron boots were going to be in forest.
Didn't know the irons were in forest, but did know something was in forest and that it was more likely, at minimum, leading to irons. So if he had found that boomerang first before the iron boots, he probably would have just been like, not again.
So when Mario went into ice, he had everything to do Forest Temple, right?
No. He didn't have the strength, and he didn't have the dins from GTG. He went to desert and did all of that after ice.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then ice was into path, so...
Yep. And I'm sure...
makes sense.
Yeah. Part of him was probably really mad.
Oh, the letter was in a path location, whatever.
Yes. Yeah, we knew letter had to be for something. Minuet, hovers.
Yeah. The letter was also what we think might be path to Bongo.
Yeah. For hovers.
For the hovers.
/ minuet for the irons.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like, if you're thinking if it's hinted path to PG, you would probably just assume it's the minuet, and you would never go there.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter in this case because all 3 of those dungeons, Forest, Water, Shadow, are like that same level. All of the items to beat them, anything can be hinted for the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of so the way like removing items or making sure that something exists to hint works is that the generator is like, okay, if I'm hinting this a letter to Bongo, does PG still have something on the list?
Yeah.
So as long as PG has something on the list, even if it's required for all 3 dungeons, it can be hinted for any of them. Similar water. That letter is still path to water because of the iron. So there just happens to be a lot of overlap.
They're pretty much all interconnected in this seed.
But they all have multiple items that can be hinted, so it just kind of worked out. Except the magic.
Yeah.
All right, we did this timing pretty well here.
I know, yeah, we said boat, so...
Flea will probably finish the boat ride now with what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Mario had a good climb.
One cycle
of Ganondorf.
Well.
Yeah.
Which, when you're like this on the controller, is something. So.
Yep. This music sounds so good in these headphones.
I know, yeah. These headphones for doing this are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I said this earlier in the tournament, but it's like, did they have to go this hard on this game's soundtrack?
Yeah, it pops.
But this is like basically what's in like Mario 64, the Bowser level.
Yeah, true.
When you're climbing.
Yeah. Ba 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 ba.
Oh.
Yeah. Generally, I feel for Flea here. He definitely got baited.
Yeah.
And this is definitely just a case of Rando being Rando.
Yeah.
On a different day, there wouldn't be a strength 2 there.
Yep, exactly.
So, on a different day, Bolero would be in your pocket. And you could go to ice.
Mario's starting to look like, oh, this is happening. Flea may be thinking like, maybe I have a chance.
He's not in. He's
all right.
He's smiling.
Yep. Get your GGs in chat, everyone. Mr.
Mario.
Mario.
Let's go. Bit of a fist bump. Bumping of fists of both the runners. He looks pretty happy with himself.
Did you like unplug our mics? Whatever.
I can still hear me.
I can't hear you.
Oh dear.
All right. Mario repeat champion here. We'll get these runners in for an interview. I will probably move out of the way and just let you handle it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Sliders. Hello.
Hello.
GG's.
GG's.
Thank you.
Repeat. Mr. Mario, how does that feel to take another championship here at SGL?
I don't know how it happened.
Why did you say that? What's kind of... Did you think you were behind when you were playing the seed, when you were in go mode?
I think I played well overall. You just have to get really lucky, I think, in a sense, because there are a lot of super good players that are here. So, I guess I'll take it.
I mean, it was a really fascinating seed. Like, your early segments were quite different. You did the bog standard kind of openers, but then your child segment was quite long, actually.
Yeah, super long.
You did quite a lot of child. You kind of went at river as child. You did domain as child.
Yeah.
Like, you did quite a lot.
I think the domain as child may have, saved me a little bit, because I got that bottle So I didn't have to go back to Child when I got the Rutos to go to Ice Cavern.
Yeah, so then you kind of had the option to go to Ice very early on, which you did.
Rather than reversing to GTG.
So Flea basically got the song from SFM as Child, and then went back Adult, and completely just kind of pushed the progression. You got the Forest Path as well, which kind of made it, quite a nice call to be able to go and do some stuff. The hammer, you can only use the hammer as Adult, so that's like your explosives in the seed with only 5 chews. What was kind of your thoughts going through the seed early on, like your decision to really go Adult 2 pretty early on?
Yeah, so I meant to stay as Child a little longer. I forgot that I had a Kokiri sword when I was in Lost Woods. And
Okay.
I just morphed out, and I was like, oh no, I really should have just done it. But, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to lean into that.
Just own it. You don't say that. Say it was intent. I was praising you. I was like, whoa, pushing the progression. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at my paths, and that was the first thing on my mind. It's like, oh, maybe I should check out Forest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it turned out to be a good play, I think. I felt very ahead because I was finding it seemed like all the items I needed.
Exactly.
And at the very end, my paths were just pointing me to
It's
exactly
a super
where
jet
the
seed.
You were very ahead for a while. We were like,
My Child was
might be GG's.
way too long for this kind of jet seed,
Yeah.
but
So
I don't know, somehow it came around.
yeah, so Mario, you decided to go Ice, and that's when you found the hovers earlier,
Yeah, I went Ice before going. When did I go Ice?
You went Ice.
Before Forest?
Yeah, before
Yeah, because
Forest.
you didn't have the strength for that.
Because I had the letter from Goron City Path, so I figured, okay, I'll just go Ice
yeah,
Cavern.
that was the last hint I found.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I was doing my Forest Path, so I was chasing the irons, the boomerang.
Yeah, so I dipped Forest without strength first, so I didn't get anything in Forest. I'm like, okay, I just need strength.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I go Ice Cavern, and I peek the hover boots at the bottom of the fountain, and I'm like,
see.
okay, I need iron boots for that.
Yeah.
And then, reverse? And then that gets you literally every single item you need. You get the magic, you get the long shot, you get the strength, and Dins, and that's basically the seed.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the knowledge you had of where the hover boots were,
Yeah.
really helped you out.
I just got to go mode Forest after.
And
One of the other
water.
things
Getting the
that's
Dins.
in Water Temple, so yeah, you kind of just got the boss key and left.
Yeah.
Flea found Strength 2.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I know
now
you
that
can.
Iron Boots is leading towards Boomerang, Strength 2,
Yeah.
everything in water.
Oh, wow.
And when I was following that path, I was thinking about Iron's Lock checks, and I thought about Fountain, but I was like, you know what? Let me just do Jabu. So I switched age to Jabu, and when it wasn't there, I was like, well, the only thing that's also Letter Lock and Iron's Lock, it's probably
Yeah.
Fountain.
So I guess the early knowledge on the hover boots and fountain was a big.
That you were out.
Yeah.
Honestly, Flea was probably about 20 minutes ahead
Yeah.
at that point.
Wow.
A significant time loss from. Because and I was just like, your route just made sense with what you did afterwards, because you did all of water, which is slow, anyway, and you basically found the boss key straight away.
Yeah.
And then you have no good way of getting to Ice, so what's the point of kind of taking the time to get there? Take the horse, do Tektite, do Strength 2 in GTG. There's then there's 2 keys, Strength 2 locked, and you don't have Song of Time because it's behind Shadow. And the maze has an item, at the back.
Okay.
So Flea has to go and find more keys to
God.
get that.
Yeah, I mispeaked it at first, and I was like, oh, no, I need more.
And we were like, this is just getting longer and longer. And then, Ice is rubbish to get to, so you just do Jabu. And it just makes sense. So, and then we were like, okay, this slow kind of movement, the slow transitioning of the lead as, what was it? It was, as you finished Forest, you did the Strength 2 block, was kind of where that was.
Okay.
And that was when the crossover started basically happening between the two.
Yeah, there were still options for after Forest probably would have been the best time for you to go to Ice, of course. At least peak, okay, where's what's behind those irons in there. But you didn't, because you had progression to do. It made total sense. And water
absolutely.
obviously has more iron lock checks.
Yeah.
But we're like, oh, Flea's just starting to bleed time versus you with that information, doing checks along the way that you got to skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely felt behind when I got go mode because I was like, wow, my child was so long for this kind of seed. And
how did you feel, Flea, kind of when you found, did you feel behind?
I felt pretty ahead like most of the seed. And I thought towards the end like I was still doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the fact that Mario finished that much further just shows how much better, like how good of a player Mario is.
Yeah, you were flying through forests like, okay, moment of appreciation. What mad person has 2 chews and decides to do King Dodongo with chews? That was just incredible. Like, the guts to do that was just, I was in awe. Like, I was
like, I have 4 chews, that's enough.
He just did
2
it.
for the eyes
He
and 2
just
for
did
kidney.
it. Like, easy. Like, off you go. And, like, get on.
I think
like,
the less you think about it, the easier it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was, and then there was another thing as well that you did, and I was just like, yeah, this is just like, and you did the long shot strat to get the hook, the chest on top of the Gerudo Fortress roof.
I wasn't sure if I remembered it.
Yeah. I was like, that was really good.
I forgot the setup, so.
Yeah, you had a bit of
I
an
forgot
attempt
the
at doing
ESS
some-
turn you have to do before the side hops.
Yeah, that was just like, just generally like really, really fun. Just like, yeah, really showing off like great kind of movement and playing off that. Like, you made it look easy, so, and this game is not. So, how did you feel like, first time coming to SGL?
Yeah, first time.
Like, got to the final on the stage. How was your feeling when like playing, and then your experience of the tournament?
I mean, my expectations coming in, or my hope, was to get out of the group phase. Like, during the group draw, I saw my group and I was like, wow, this is so stacked. And I looked at all the other groups and I was like, everyone here is insane. Like, everyone's just so good at this game.
Yeah.
And like Mario said, like a lot of times it just comes down to luck, right? Like just how all the dice rolls. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super happy to be on the in the finals. It was fantastic.
And it was great. It was great watching you, like, because I know you're not as outspoken as some people are in the OOT Discord, and it's great to kind of see you, and now you're kind of named hopefully as a bit more kind of a bit of a highlight ready for the main tournament coming around the corner. So I think runner-up is fantastic kind of thing. So well done. Do you think, Mario, being here before, winning before, did that help you, or did you forget everything that happened a year ago and it was just like back to the anxiety board again?
No, I think being in this position last year really helped me with nerves. Like, I didn't really feel as nervous as I did last year, especially when it came to like the end game. I was like, okay, I just gotta lock in and do it.
Yeah, and because like I know like playing the game and playing here when you're like on Ganondorf.
Yeah.
And like you're just like this with the controller. So getting like the one cycle on Ganondorf.
Yeah, last year after I finished the game, my hands were visibly shaking. Like,
How was your heart rate going in? I saw you take kind of a calming breath, it looks like.
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into the tower.
I had to just calm down.
Yeah.
And then I still didn't have a good Ganon, so yeah.
And I've just praised you both, but there was one thing I do need to bring up, and that's the slowest anybody has ever climbed the staircase into Dongo's cavern. It was like, whoop, whoop.
I swear I'm decent at this.
I saw you giggle, and I was like, oh dear.
Yeah, I was like halfway up. I was like, I may as well just.
All right, I'm going to hand my headset off to our admins who are going to probably say something. But I just also, like, on my behalf, just want to thank everybody in the corner who is doing all the tech stuff and things like that. So thank you so much for putting everything together. Fiesel and the crew in the back, doing everything here. It's really, really appreciated. We love showing off this game. That we love as much as we say we hate it all the time. We don't. We're here flying across the country to play it, so it's all lies. Okay, over to our admins, Dastar and Star, the stars in the sky.
Back a bit so you're on camera.
I don't exist. It's fine.
Oh, really? Okay,
Just lean.
Hi.
all right. Hello, everyone in the chat. I'm Star. There's Dastar.
But try without poking our champion, please. Let's just take him out. It's fine. It's only been 2 years in a row. Anyway, yeah. So
GG, Mario.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's been a great tournament for you. Double champion. One of, I think, 2 people who can claim it across the SGL OOT tournaments across the years. What the hell's being the other?
But even better than that, his Wii has won 3 years in a row.
Oh yeah. It's the 3rd year in a row my Wii has won.
Apparently, your Wii is.
We're gonna have to start banning your Wii.
My Wii's better than I am.
Yeah, no, and of course, obviously, it's been a wonderful run for Flea, just watching everything, like, just completely dominating his group and just going all the way through here. And, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better finals right here. That was really great to watch.
It was a fantastic match. It was a great run for you, Flea. I know this was your first year, Mario. We've seen years in a row. But you did really well for your first run.
Well, if you keep winning like this, you'll have to keep coming back.
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. It's just been absolutely wonderful. Obviously, as you have another one of these at home now, you get to add another one to it. So I will give you your first place. And of course, Star, if you wouldn't mind.
And Flea, you get yours of your own as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to reach across everybody for this. But yeah, no, I hope you, obviously it has been absolutely wonderful. You guys absolutely deserve these trophies. And, I can't wait to see the next thing we figure out to do with this, which, that you'll have to figure that out. I have no brain cells left after all this.
I'm not sure I do either, but we've got a year, so.
So what we're saying is blame Mara. Got it. Okay, cool. Hi, Mara. Thank you, everything. Bye. No, I got nothing else. Like, it's been a fantastic tournament. We've had something like 58 race seeds played or something like that.
I believe that is correct. Wow. We did the math there.
There's like 28 total people in this tournament, and a lot more than that just in this room right now. You can't see me pointing, but I'm just pointing at the entire room in general. Yeah, that guy. Specifically that guy.
But truly, thank you to everyone who came this year. We've been increasing in numbers every year. This is now our 3rd year here at Speedgaming Live in person in 3 years. We've been here since the start, since all the way from back in 2019. And it's always a pleasure. We had the biggest crowd we've ever had this year, 28 total. It's been a pleasure to have everyone. Thank you to all of our runners, to all our commentators, trackers, to everyone who watched. And of course, a huge shout out to the SG staff. We couldn't do this without you. It's been a pleasure here.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Rick for scheduling, Sinek and Clifford in the admin room just absolutely killed it, just helped us take care of everything. Obviously, there's way more than I even know the names of.
And of course, Fiesel, the head of it all.
Exactly, like that's what I'm saying. Like, there's way more than I even possibly know the names of, and they all just absolutely just helped us coordinate all this craziness. So again, thank you all so much, and we'll have to do this again.
Absolutely. Hope to be back next year.
I hear an echo. Is this my tech?
But yeah, we look forward to seeing everyone next year. If you're interested, dates will of course be announced sometime next spring, perhaps. But we'll be looking to be returning to this again next year, sometime next fall. Keep an eye out, and we hope to see you all then. But I believe that is it for us here this year. Thank you to everyone.
And watch out for this guy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.